Hey there, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Rachel Garceau, and this is your First Alert Weather Plus forecast for our first full week of the month of August. Of course, on Saturday, we flip the calendar to our new month, but unfortunately, we don't really see much change in our weather pattern. Of course, we had that cold front that came in Saturday evening, caused that unfortunate explosive fire growth. We had anticipated it, but still kind of disheartening news on the fire front for several of our area wildfires. Good news is the worst of the winds, at least for the time being, are behind us as of Sunday evening. We still have some breezy winds ahead of us on Monday, but the winds will slowly start to ease as temperatures start to climb. We'll actually start the work week in very comfortable territory, at least for the middle of summer, but it doesn't last all that long. We're right back to some scorching heat by the end of the work week. And unfortunately, I know this is the really big question as well. Will the smoke go away? I don't see that in the foreseeable future. Smoke will likely continue to degrade air quality for several days to come as we continue, of course, to have large wildfires burning, not just here in Idaho and Oregon, but also to our north in Washington. Those massive fires that have caused such destruction around the Spokane area, they can also possibly be sending smoke our way as the week continues. And unfortunately, what we would really love to see from Mother Nature, a good soaking rain. I don't have a drop of rain in sight, not at least for the next 7 days. So it is a new month. Let's talk about typically what we see in the Boise area in August. We start to see temperatures decline. We are officially past, or will be soon, our hottest point of the summer. Starting off August, typically, this is on average, remember, highs in the mid-90s. By the end of the month, those highs have dropped down to the mid-80s. Morning lows start in the mid-60s on average for the Boise area. And then by the final day of the month, we see those morning lows around 57 degrees. This is our driest month of the year. In an average August, we only see 0.17 of an inch of rain. And the hottest temperature ever observed in the month of August in the City of Trees was 110 degrees. It's happened twice. The most recently, though, was back in 2018. And while I have nothing near 110 in my forecast, as we look at the next 5 days, this is your work week here. You can see we have a slow and steady warming trend that keeps us in very comfortable territory on Monday. Little hotter Tuesday, hotter still on Wednesday. Then by Thursday into Friday, we're back to the triple digits. Not there, not soaring into the triple digits, but right up around 100 for Thursday, Friday. And remember, depending on the smoke outlook, how dense we see that surface smoke, some of these daytime highs could be inhibited from reaching their full potential. Speaking of that smoke outlook, this is Monday. It's hard to predict all that far out exactly what the smoke will do. So as I've been saying now for the last week, take the smoke forecast with a grain of salt. The contours you see here, remember, are not air quality predictions. They are surface level smoke density. The colors kind of coincide with our air quality categories, but for the purposes of this graphic, this is just showing expected smoke density. Where you start seeing the purple here on Monday, that is that Tartar fire that has been causing evacuations near the town of Weiser. Of course, the closer you get to any area fires, the more dense that smoke will be. Winds will be out of the north and the northwest for the week. Again, easing after Monday, but still strong enough that areas downwind of those fires will continue to see a blanket of smoke in the air. This is by Tuesday morning. We can see smoke is expected to remain widespread across central and southern Idaho, and will likely continue to see air quality ebbing and flowing, not just day to day, but as we've seen, sometimes hour to hour. So to catch a little window of good air quality, you do need to check it quite often. If you see it drop into the orange, which is just unhealthy for sensitive groups, you can probably safely go out and enjoy the great outdoors for a short amount of time, as long as you're not particularly sensitive to that particulate matter. You may want to get out and enjoy early in the week, as we will have, yes, some breezy winds Monday, but a disturbance up to our north as it skirts by. It'll also keep those temperatures in that very comfortable mid-80s territory. But then as this system moves off to the east and high pressure remains anchored to our south, the heat will really start to build. Here's that upper level pattern. We can see that high pressure. It just amplifies northward later in the work week. That's what will bring us those hot conditions, especially Thursday and Friday. The haze will stick around. Murky skies will be the trend, clear above that haze, but hazy and smoky at the surface. Now, as we look towards this coming weekend, we may see a disturbance up to our north flatten out that jet stream, flatten out that ridge just enough that temperatures may be a little bit less hot over the weekend, but still the general trend is that we stay hot, dry, and smoky for the foreseeable future. So looking at our forecast high temperatures, if you can catch a pocket pocket of good air quality on Monday. It'll be a very pleasant day temperature-wise to be outside. Mid-80s in Boise, low 80s in the Magic Valley, McCall at 77, up to our north where they are socked in with dense wildfire smoke as well. Temperatures on the fire front, good news there with a high of just 79 in Spokane on Monday. But already by Tuesday, we start seeing, you can see the orange and red contours coming in. That indicates higher temperatures, and we can see off to the west, even Portland on Tuesday, pushing 100 degrees. We'll be closer to 90 here in Boise on Tuesday, mid-80s in Twin Falls. Up in Spokane, back up into the mid-80s. And then on Wednesday, we tack on another 3 to 5 degrees of warmth, getting us back to more typical early August territory. But then look off to the west. Portland at 100 degrees. That is blazing hot for Portland. Medford further south could hit 107 on Wednesday. So scorching summer heat makes a return. If you want to beat the heat, I always say head to the mountains. But even in places like McCall, by the end of the work week, we'll see those highs in the 90s. Morning lows will be comfy by the end of the work week, but with a cooler air mass in place early on, be ready for some brisk mornings in the higher elevations. Stanley, for instance, Monday morning expected to dip down to the freezing mark. Places like McCall, Donnelly, Cascade, you could wake up to temperatures below 40. Make sure if you're camping this week, have an extra blanket or two to prepare for those cold mornings, even though they do start warming as the week progresses. And I do anticipate some level of smoke up in the mountains. Remember, the further you go to the east, at least in our viewing area, the less dense that smoke will be. But still, the further west you are in our central mountains, so west central mountains, I do anticipate hazy skies to persist due to the proximity of those wildfires. Looking at the Magic Valley, the trend is the same. Hazy sunshine continues. Breezy winds on Monday at 25 to 35 miles per hour out of the northwest. So fire growth across the region is likely on Monday again. Winds ease up as temperatures start to climb. Twin will hit 85 on Tuesday, back into the 90s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on into the weekend with that layer of surface smoke sticking around, impacting air quality to some degree for the foreseeable future. And as we look at the Boise area, you get the trend by now, right? There's our breezy Monday, temperatures in comfortable territory. Another cool start Tuesday morning in the mid-50s, but those daytime highs start to climb by Wednesday. We're back to where we should be for this point in August. Blazing hot Thursday, Friday. Smoky sunshine is the trend, and unfortunately, you can see for at least the next 7 days, no rain in sight. So just keep a close eye on that air quality and get outside when you can, when that air is safe to breathe. Thanks so much for tuning into this First Alert Weather Plus forecast. I'll catch you next time.